Demonstrations against extremism have been held across the UK on Saturday. The biggest was in London, where protesters marched on Downing Street as part of an event called Stand Up to Racism. Our correspondent Rahul Pathak now reports.
They came in their thousands, groups from all over the country calling for an end to racist violence and extremism in all its forms. The Stand Up to Racism demonstration is the first in a series of events leading up to the United Nations Anti-Racism Day on the 21st of March. One of the groups taking part was the Society for Anglo-Chinese Understanding, or SACU. The organisation says Sinophobia, or anti-Chinese sentiment, has been on the rise in the UK, especially in the years since the pandemic.
People suddenly have this license, or they have the right, they can just abuse people verbally on the train, public transportation, especially when you're on your own, and then you get physical attack. And it's not just like, you know, in poor area, in everywhere.
I was essentially blocked and barred from taking part in my university's sort of political life, in getting involved in sort of like groups and cultural societies, and it was all because I stood up for myself as a Chinese person.
Well, this march comes at a time when racism in public life has been pushed firmly into the spotlight. Last week, a major party donor to the ruling Conservative Party was accused of making racist and misogynistic remarks about the black opposition parliamentarian Diane Abbott. Also, the former deputy party leader of the Conservative Party, Lee Anderson, defected to the right-wing Reform Party after claiming that Islamists had taken control of the London Mayor, Sadiq Khan. The protesters here claiming that these were examples of how hate speech had become normalised in mainstream society.
Racism is being ramped up, particularly by the government and the Tories, really, around, you know, the trying to redefine extremism to take in a whole load of groups that are not remotely extremist.
Do you think racism is on the rise in the UK?
Well, I will say yes, I think.
And what makes you say that?
Yeah, well, the kind of things we see happening at the moment, the kind of, comments people make tells us actually is on the rise.
One issue still casting a long shadow is the ongoing war in Gaza. Since the conflict began in October, there have been more than 2,000 cases of Islamophobia in the UK, according to the anti-racism charity Tell Mama, while the Community Security Trust, which monitors anti-Jewish incidents, said there had been around 2,700 cases involving anti-Semitism in the same time. For the organisers of Saturday's march, it's proof that the battle to fight the politics of hate and division is arguably one of the biggest challenges that this country faces. Rahul Pathak, CGTN, London.